Howdy guys, welcome back to another one. The 28 gauge guys out there have been requesting some loads lately. 28 gauge has been kind of hard for us to load, but thanks to Martin, we now have OMV dies. This is a 28 gauge crimp starter, and you can't see it, but right behind it is the 28 gauge OMV Rebasator. You'll see what that does in just a second if you don't know what those are, but that is the secret to getting factory style crimps on new hulls. Whether it be a Lee Lodahl, a mech, any press, the Rebasator tool is a, in my opinion, absolute must-have if you want perfect crimps. He did also send a GOT BN2 for 28 gauge, so that'll be what I use to finish this show off. Now this load is pretty simple. It's a 7/8 ounce load of copper-plated number 4 shot. The components we're using is a brand new primed Shadot 2 3/4 inch 28 gauge hull. And if you didn't know, yes, 28 gauge does come in 3 inch now. As of 2013, about a year ago, it got its official SAMI recognition. I think it has the exact same pressure cap as 3.5 inch 12 gauge, 14,000 PSI. It's not that popular of a round just yet, but it's gaining popularity. To talk about that for just a second, a lot of people seem to really hate the 3 inch 28 gauge shell. Some people hate 3 inch 20 gauge. I don't understand why. More shells, more lengths. That is a very good thing to me. The shotgun world does not have a lot of variety. There are currently 9 gauges in use, and of those 9, only 6 are in popular use. The other 3 being 8 gauge, which is mainly used in industrial purposes now. And then you have 24 and 32 gauge, which most people don't even know those exist, but they do. But let's see, moving on from that. Sorry for the rambling. We're using the, well, long shot powder, the HV28 Magnum wad from Ballistic Products, a 28 gauge mini nitro card, 1/8 of an inch, and copper plated number 4 shot. I got this from Precision Reloading. So without further ado, let's get this started. I have 13 grains of long shot coming out of the Lee Perfect Powder Measure. This thing is a very, very handy tool to have. I've actually had it for quite a while, and just within the last 2 months, I've started really using it a lot. When I'm mass loading, like say slugs or something, or a lot of buckshot rounds to test for you guys, I will use this, but typically I don't mass load shells. I just, well, you guys see the buckshot videos, they're all different, so I really haven't had much of a need to use this, but I use it a lot now. So, anyway, the HV28 Magnum wad on top of 13 grains of long shot, and this is a published load, component for component. It is in the Ballistic Products small bore manual, 7/8 ounce load of lead, moving 1120 FPS, and it's 11,000 even PSI. A pretty good load. You could probably, with the right choke, use this as a turkey load inside 25-30 yards. I bet you could do it. Next, we need 7/8 ounce of copper-plated number 4 shot, or any size lead shot you want. The 7/8 ounce payload here actually does require the entire 1/8 inch overshot card. Stock height is pretty low. You could actually just switch to little gun with the proper powder charge and do a 1 ounce load here and skip the overshot card. But I'm just doing a 7/8 ounce load. We are now at the exact perfect stack height for a good crimp. Now, this right here is again the GOP. I think it's GOP. It's either GOP or OMV 28 gauge 6-point crimp starter. It's really simple to use. You set it on there and pull down. I like to work it in so I don't crush the hull. Just about got it. And there we go. The crimp is formed. Now, if I can get back to this thing right here, I can't really see it too well, but this is the Rebasator tool. I'll take it off and show you guys. This is what it looks like. I'm going to switch that to the front station just so you guys can get a better view of what's going on. But it's attached to a 3/4 to 7/8 inch rubber expansion freeze plug. You can get these on eBay. They're like 14 bucks for 4 of them, and it works. And all you're going to want to do is pull down until you feel it sink into the shell, and that's what it does right there. I'm trying to get a good view for you guys. There you go. The crimp is pretty much formed. You can see it's a little bit belled out on top. That's what the gap's for. It's going to finish this crimp. But sorry guys, I have just tools and stuff laying everywhere again. I would be embarrassed to show you my bar right now. There is stuff everywhere, so I'm just going to finish this off camera. But I'll be back with you in one moment. And here's what the finished product looks like. Well, I wouldn't say finished just yet. I think my BN2 28 gauge has an issue because it does not, under any circumstance, put a taper on the shell. As you can see, it's pretty much square. That'll feed most guns, but I want a BN2 to do what a BN2 is supposed to do. So I have this thing right here. I got it off eBay. It's actually a whole kit for loading 28 gauge on the lead load all, minus the resize ring. But this is the final crimp tube and the taper die. And all I'm going to do here is just throw it in there and pull down a little bit. And if I did it right, this should, yep, fall right out. And now we have a taper on it. Here's a little bit better view of what the finished product looks like. You can see very deep set crimp. It's nice and tight, will not pop back open. Looks about like a factory shell. And there it is. 7/8 ounce copper plated number 4 shot, 1120 FPS. With little gun you can get a lot higher speed. But yeah, pretty good. So again, I want to give a huge thanks to Martin for sending us these tools. We can crank out the small bore shells pretty fast with these things now. Very handy. We've loaded quite a few 28 gauge shells to shoot some clays with here pretty soon. If you guys want to see that, let us know and we'll definitely film it. Shooting clays is it's a lot of fun if you haven't done it. But anyway guys, I think that's going to do it for me. Please like and subscribe. We always appreciate that. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down in the comment section below and we'll get back to you. And if you want to, go check out our Patreon. It's as low as $1 a month and you guys get early access to content. A link to that, as well as a link to our Instagram, Rumble, and now merch store will be in the description below. But other than that, you guys take it easy and we'll see you in the next one.